LeBron and Luka are an insane duo. Last night, Luka's put up 32 points with 12 assists, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. LeBron was right behind him with 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. These two are filling up the box score like it's nothing. Every time they step on the floor, they're putting up elite numbers, and last night was no different. Luka was an absolute machine, and he's making everything look effortless. He's controlling the pace, setting guys up, and still getting his own buckets. There's no wasted movement with him, no hesitation, just pure basketball IQ and skill. The way he's dishing out assists while scoring at this level is insane. He's out here orchestrating the entire offense, but at the same time, he's also taking over whenever necessary. In those 4 steals, that's not just luck. He's everywhere on defense, reading passing lanes, jumping into the right spots, and turning opponents' mistakes into easy points. He's seeing things before they happen and putting pressure on ball handlers the entire game. LeBron, 40 years old, playing 44 minutes in an overtime game? That's ridiculous. There's no other player his age playing at this level. He's still out here grabbing rebounds, setting up teammates, and getting buckets whenever they need him to. His numbers don't just pop off the page. They're carrying the team, the scoring, the passing, the rebounding, the leadership. It's all there. He's still finishing through contact, getting to the line, and controlling the tempo in crunch time. And it's not like he's just standing around waiting for the ball. He's involved in everything. He's finding mismatches, directing traffic, and punishing teams that don't send extra help. This isn't just a one-time performance either. Luka and LeBron have been playing at this level consistently. In the last 7 games, Luka's averaging nearly 28 points, 9 assists, almost 9 rebounds, and over 2 steals per game. That's production on every single level. It's one thing to put up points, but he's also leading the team in assists and crashing the boards. He's doing everything. LeBron's numbers are just as wild. He's averaging 28 points, 11 rebounds, almost 6 assists, and over a block per game. He's taking over the glass, protecting the rim, and still getting his usual numbers on offense. There aren't many players in the league who can do what he's doing right now, and nobody's doing it at his age. He's not just putting up stats, he's playing winning basketball every single night. And speaking of winning, they've been dominating. They've won 7 straight games and look unstoppable. Every team they faced has struggled to keep up with them, and it's because Luka and LeBron are both playing at an elite level. They're not just putting up empty numbers, they're impacting every aspect of the game and leading the team to wins. They're also making history. They're the only duo in Lakers history to put up 200 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists in their first 10 games together. That's unheard of. Think about all the legendary duos that have played for this team, and not a single one has done what these two are doing right now. That says everything. And if that wasn't enough, they're also only the second duo in NBA history to both drop 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in back-to-back games. That's dominance. There's no break when you're playing against them. If one of them doesn't have it going, the other one picks up the slack. And when they're both locked in, like they have been, it's game over for the other team. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, the duo. Since the All-Star break, no duo in the entire league has scored more points. They're outproducing every other star pairing in the NBA, and it's not even close. Other teams have great players, but no one's putting up these kinds of numbers together on a nightly basis. This is the type of production that makes teams absolute nightmares in the playoffs. Luka and LeBron are proving every single night that they're the most dangerous duo in the league. The numbers don't lie. They're scoring, passing, rebounding, playing defense, and leading the team to win after win. And they're only getting better. They figured out how to play off each other, and it's been a problem for every team they've faced. The chemistry is already there, and they're making things look way too easy. What's wild is that this is still just the beginning. Luka's been in control from the second he stepped into this lineup, and LeBron's been as dominant as ever. They're putting up ridiculous stats, and the Lakers just keep stacking wins. Every game, they're finding ways to elevate each other while making everything around them better. They're both capable of running the entire offense, but they found a balance that works perfectly. And these numbers aren't just for show. They're leading to wins. Every time these two play, the Lakers have a chance to win, no matter who they're up against. That's how dominant they've been. There's no other duo in the league impacting the game at this level, and the stats back it up completely. Luka's got the scoring, the playmaking, and the ability to dictate the pace of the game. He's the one controlling everything, and he's getting whatever he wants out there. He's not just a scorer, he's making every player on the team better while still putting up superstar numbers. LeBron's doing what he always does. Absolutely everything. Scoring, rebounding, facilitating, defending, leading. He's still playing at an MVP level, And it's scary how efficient he's been. Every time the Lakers need a big play, he's there. He's making sure this team stays locked in, and his impact is undeniable. This duo is completely running through teams, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. The numbers they're putting up are video game level, and the best part is they're doing it while winning. They've got the stats, they've got the chemistry, and most importantly, they've got the wins to back it all up. Luka and LeBron are the real deal, and the league's got no choice but to take notice. They're dominating every single night, and if they keep this up, it's going to take something special to stop them. But for LeBron's been playing at an elite level for years. But something's changed since the trade. It's not just about adding another superstar, it's about how it's impacted him. Bringing in Luka didn't just give the Lakers another elite talent, it made LeBron lock in more than ever. He's not just playing great basketball, he's fully engaged on both ends of the floor, and the results are showing. Before the trade, LeBron was already putting up numbers that would have landed most players on an all-NBA team. He was scoring efficiently, racking up assists, and still finding ways to impact the game every night. But now he's playing smarter, more controlled, and more locked in than he's been in years. Having Luka next to him means he doesn't have to carry the offense every single possession, and that's been a game changer. Instead of running everything through him all the time, he's able to pick his spots, get easier looks, and conserve energy for when it really matters. That shift has made a massive difference. With Luka handling a lot of the playmaking, LeBron's playing off the ball more, cutting to the basket, and finding himself in easier scoring positions. He doesn't have to grind through double teams or constantly create his own shot. He's still a dominant scorer, but now he's doing it in a way that's more sustainable. That's why his efficiency has skyrocketed. He's not forcing anything. He's letting the game come to him, and it's made him even more dangerous. The biggest change, though, has been on the other end of the floor. The Lakers were struggling on defense early in the season, and it showed. They weren't rotating well, they were giving up too many easy looks, and teams were finding ways to exploit them. That's not happening anymore. Since the trade, the Lakers have had the best defense in the league. That's not a coincidence. LeBron's locked in defensively in a way that he hasn't been in a long time. It's not just about effort, it's about engagement. He's reading plays earlier, switching with more urgency, and making sure everyone's in the right spots. He's contesting shots, getting into passing lanes, and showing up in ways that change games. He's always been capable of being an elite defender, but now he's showing it every night. That's what makes this trade so special. It didn't just bring in another superstar, it made LeBron better. He's playing with more energy, more focus, and more determination. The Lakers went from being an inconsistent team to one of the top contenders in the league, and LeBron's been a massive part of that shift. He's not just playing great basketball, he's leading the way. That leadership has been a huge reason why this team has transformed. LeBron's always been one of the smartest players in the league, but now he's using that IQ to elevate everyone around him. He's communicating more, making sure guys are in the right positions, and setting the tone with his play. When he's engaged like this, the entire team follows. They're rotating better, they're closing out harder, and they're defending like a team that believes they can win a championship. The numbers don't lie. The Lakers' defensive turnaround has been one of the biggest stories in the league. They went from being below average to the best defense in the NBA. That doesn't happen unless everyone buys in, and right now, LeBron's bought in more than ever. It's not just about the numbers though, it's about the way he's carrying himself on the court. He's not coasting through stretches of games or saving his energy for later. He's locked in from start to finish, making impact plays on both ends while setting the standard for the rest of the team. That kind of focus is what turns a good team into a championship contender. The Western Conference is stacked. There are multiple teams that could make a deep playoff run, but the Lakers have put themselves right in the mix. They're sitting just behind some of the top teams, and a big reason for that is LeBron's renewed focus. When he's playing like this, they're as dangerous as anyone. There's a different feel to this team now. They're not just trying to stay competitive, they're trying to win it all. LeBron's playing like he knows this is a real shot at another title, and that mentality is rubbing off on everyone. The Lakers aren't just playing better, they're playing with purpose. It's rare to see a player at his stage of his career take another step forward, but that's exactly what's happened. The trade didn't just bring in Luka, it unlocked another level of LeBron. He's engaged in every possession, he's making smarter decisions, and he's lifting this team in ways that go beyond the box score. That's why the Lakers are in the position they're in right now. They've got the talent, the depth, and now they've got an engaged LeBron leading the way. That combination is what makes them a legitimate threat in the West. If he keeps playing like this, they're going to be a problem for any team that stands in their way. There's no denying that the trade changed everything. Luka's presence has been huge, but what it's done for LeBron has been just as important. He's playing some of the best basketball he's played in years, and he's doing it in a way that maximizes everything around him. This version of LeBron is different. He's locked in, he's leading, and he's making sure this team is ready for what's ahead. The numbers speak for themselves, but it's the way he's playing that really tells the story. The Lakers got a superstar in the trade, but they also got something just as valuable, a fully engaged LeBron James. But together, having two players with this level of usage on the same team is completely unfair. Luka and LeBron are both among the highest usage players in the entire league, and now they're on the same squad, controlling nearly everything on offense. This isn't just a duo that takes turns running the show. This is two superstars who dominate possessions in ways that most teams can't even handle with one star, let alone two. LeBron's usage rate sits at over 30%, which means that nearly 1 out of every 3 offensive plays ends with him either shooting, passing for an assist, or turning the ball over. That's already an elite workload. He's taking more shots, getting to the free throw line at a strong rate, and still dishing out almost 9 assists a game. That's control at the highest level. But then there's Luka, who somehow has an even higher usage rate. His number is over 32%, meaning he's concluding an even bigger share of offensive possessions than LeBron. He's putting up over 20 shots per game, getting to the free throw line even more, and racking up assists at a rate that keeps the entire offense moving. He's not just involved, he's dictating how every possession unfolds. Most teams are lucky to have one player with this level of offensive control. These two are running an offense together, and they're doing it without stepping on each other's toes. That's what makes this so unfair. There's no break for the defense, no moments where one guy takes a back seat for an extended stretch. If you survive a stretch where Luka's handling everything, now you have to deal with LeBron doing the same thing. There's no way to prepare for that. The numbers make it even crazier. LeBron is taking over 18 shots per game, getting almost 5 free throw attempts, dishing out nearly 9 assists, and turning the ball over about 4 times per game. That means he's making a direct impact on nearly every single offensive possession when he's on the floor. It's impossible to slow him down because even when he's not scoring, he's setting someone else up for an easy bucket. Then Luka comes in with his own absurd workload. He's taking more than 20 shots per game, drawing over 7 free throw attempts, and still handing out almost 8 assists. The ball is in his hands constantly, and defenses have to pick their poison every single possession. Do you try to force him into a tough shot? Do you send extra help and risk him picking you apart with his passing? There's no good answer, and that's before even factoring in that he's sharing the floor with LeBron. Having one of these guys means you can dominate a game offensively. Having both, that's just not fair. Teams have to completely change their defensive approach just to have a chance of slowing one of them down, but it never really works because the other is always there to take over. If Luka's drawing extra attention, LeBron's finding easy ways to score. If LeBron's being pressured, Luka's controlling the offense without missing a beat. There's no way to stop them both. And that's why teams are struggling so much against this duo. The possession numbers make it even clearer. LeBron is directly involved in over 71 possessions per game, while Luka is involved in more than 72. That's nearly 150 combined possessions where one of these two is making the final decision on what happens. That's unheard of. Most teams don't even get close to that type of control from their best player, and the Lakers have 2 guys operating at this level at the same time. It's not just about how often they're involved, it's about how good they are at maximizing those possessions. Luka is constantly breaking down defenses, creating open looks, and putting up efficient numbers. LeBron is still one of the smartest players in the game, making the right read almost every time, and taking advantage of any defensive mistakes. Together, they're making life impossible for opposing teams. This is exactly why defenses are struggling to keep up. No matter what they throw at the Lakers, there's always an answer. If you try to slow down the pace, they'll find ways to attack in the half court. If you try to force them into tough shots, they'll get to the free throw line. If you try to take away their scoring, they'll just find open teammates and let the role players get involved. There's no good way to stop an offense when 2 players are controlling this many possessions at such a high level. Most superstars have to take a break at some point, and that's usually when teams try to make their move. But with these two, there's no drop-off. If one sits, the other takes over completely. If they're on the floor together, defenses have to scramble every single possession just to keep up. There's no breathing room, no opportunity to reset. It's just relentless offensive pressure from start to finish. Even historically, this kind of usage from 2 players on the same team is rare. Most of the time, when 2 stars are paired together, one of them has to adjust and take on a smaller role. That's not happening here. Instead, they're both playing at their usual high usage levels. And it's working because of how well they complement each other. Luka's ability to slow the game down and pick apart defenses pairs perfectly with LeBron's ability to control tempo and make smart decisions. It's not just unfair, it's almost impossible to defend. You can't take away what they do best because they do everything. You can't force them into bad decisions because they're too smart. You can't wear them down because they've got each other to keep the offense rolling. The numbers show just how dominant they are individually, but together, it's on another level entirely. This is why teams are struggling so much against the Lakers right now. Most defenses just aren't built to handle two players taking on this much responsibility while still being this effective. Luka and LeBron aren't just putting up numbers. They're making it look easy. Defenses can't keep up. And unless something changes, it's going to be a problem for every team that has to face them. And the thing is, LeBron and Luka are proving this season that their defense has been seriously underrated. People love to talk about their offensive dominance, but what they're doing on the other end of the floor is just as impressive. They're not just playing solid defense, they've been two of the best defenders on their team, making a huge impact both individually and within the Lakers system. LeBron, at his age, should not be this good defensively, but here he is, shutting down plays, grabbing rebounds, and making smart rotations every single night. His mixed team defense ranking is better than 83% of players in the league, which means he's doing more to prevent opponents from scoring than the vast majority of players out there. That's not a small thing. He's making a real difference every time he's on the court. The numbers back it up completely. He's pulling down over 7 defensive rebounds per game, which is a huge part of why the Lakers are finishing possession strong. He's not just letting the bigs clean up the glass, he's actively making sure teams don't get second chance opportunities. That's a winning effort, and it's not just about rebounding. He's still protecting the rim and making plays when they matter. He might not be blocking shots at the highest rate, but his positioning and timing are making life tough for opponents. He's not giving up easy lanes to the basket, and when guys try to attack, he's forcing them into tougher shots than they want. Beyond the stats, his presence alone is shifting the way teams attack. He's reading plays before they happen, cutting off driving lanes, and forcing teams into difficult decisions. He's not taking risks that leave his team vulnerable. He's playing smart, disciplined defense, and it's paying off in a big way. Luka, on the other hand, has taken his defensive game to an entirely new level this season. He's ranked higher than 99% of players in mixed team defense, which means he's shutting down opponents better than just about anyone in the league. This is not just a good defensive season, it's an elite one. Luka has always been known for his offensive talent, but now he's proving that he's just as valuable on the other end of the floor. His anticipation and defensive IQ are off the charts, and he's been making plays all year long that are completely disrupting opposing offenses. His 2 steals per game are no joke. He's been one of the best in the league at reading passing lanes, picking off lazy passes, and turning them into fast break opportunities. He's not just standing around waiting for mistakes. He's forcing them. He's seeing plays before they develop and putting himself in the perfect position to capitalize on them. And while he might not be known for shot blocking, he's still contesting shots and making sure teams don't get easy looks inside. His size and strength allow him to hold his ground against bigger players, and he's not getting bullied in the paint like some might expect. He's staying in front of his man, making the right rotations, and doing all the little things that great defenders do. The biggest part of Luka's improvement, though, has been his effort. He's playing with way more energy and focus on defense, and it's been a game changer. He's not taking possessions off, he's not giving up on plays, and he's making sure that every defensive sequence ends in a stop. That kind of commitment is what separates good defenders from great ones. As a team, the Lakers have been dominant defensively since the trade, and a huge reason for that is these two stepping up their game on that end of the floor. They're both taking pride in shutting down opponents, and it's turning this team into a legitimate championship contender. Their team defensive efficiency numbers prove it. Luka's sitting at 109.3, which is one of the best marks in the entire league. That means when he's on the floor, teams are struggling to score, and it's not a coincidence. He's making the right reads, he's disrupting plays, and he's locking in on every possession. LeBron's team defensive efficiency is 114.1, which is still better than most players in the league. He's making sure his presence is felt, keeping the Lakers in games with his ability to clean up possessions and prevent easy buckets. At this stage of his career, most players would be taking a step back defensively, but LeBron's out here proving that he's still got it. The best part, they're doing this while carrying a huge offensive workload. Most players with their usage rates would be taking it easy on the defensive end, but that's not happening here. They're both still putting up elite offensive numbers while also leading the way defensively. This is exactly why the Lakers are so dangerous right now. They've got two of the best offensive players in the league, and now they're both fully locked in on defense too. That's what makes this team a real threat. There's no weak link to attack. A lot of people still don't give them credit for what they're doing defensively, but the numbers speak for themselves. Luka's been one of the best defenders in the entire league this year, and LeBron's still making a huge impact at his age. That combination is making life miserable for every team they face. This isn't just a temporary hot streak. This is who they are now. They're committed to getting stops. They're forcing teams into bad shots, and they're controlling games on both ends of the floor. This level of defensive engagement is what separates championship teams from everyone else. And right now, they're showing that they've got what it takes to win it all. When people talk about the best defensive players in the league, Luka and LeBron's names don't always come up first, but that needs to change. They've both been elite on that end all season long, and the impact they're making is impossible to ignore. They're not just great offensive players, they're two-way forces who are making their team better every single night. If they keep this up, the Lakers are going to be an absolute nightmare for anyone in the playoffs. They're shutting down offenses, making game-changing plays, and proving that their defense is just as good as their offense. They're both playing some of the best two-way basketball of their careers, and it's making a massive difference. The bottom line, their defense is completely underrated, and it's time people start recognizing how good they've been. The numbers don't lie. LeBron and Luka are locking in defensively, and it's been a huge reason why the Lakers have turned into one of the best teams in the league. Overall though, LeBron and Luka are rewriting what it means to be a dominant duo. They're not just stuffing the box score, they're leading a team that looks more dangerous every single night. The way they're balancing their roles while still playing at an elite level is something teams just can't prepare for. Most teams struggle to even find one player who can control a game like this, but the Lakers have two of the most unstoppable offensive forces in the league. What's really unfair is that they're doing this while also stepping up defensively. People don't give them enough credit for how much they've improved on that end, but it's clear that their commitment to defense is what's separating the Lakers from the rest of the league. LeBron is shutting down plays before they happen, keeping the team organized and controlling the glass. Luka's turning into a complete two-way player, playing with more energy, making key stops, and disrupting passing lanes better than ever. They're not just putting up big numbers, they're making life miserable for opponents on both ends of the floor. And the chemistry, it's only getting better. Luka's ability to run the offense has allowed LeBron to conserve his energy and lock in even more. They don't have to force anything. They don't have to carry the load alone, and they're feeding off each other in ways that make them unstoppable. The Lakers have completely flipped the switch since the trade, and now they're looking like a team that nobody wants to see in the playoffs. This isn't just a good run, it's sustainable. The way these two are playing, it's clear they figured out how to maximize their talent while making sure everyone around them benefits. It's not just about what they do individually, it's about how they're making each other better. That's what makes them so dangerous. If they keep this up, it's going to take something special to stop them. Opposing teams better hope they find an answer soon, because right now, LeBron and Luka are making everything look way too easy. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.